everybody, it's Kim here. I'm back with another video. Whoops, sorry if I look a mess. I kind of just woke up and just decided to do this video. Just kind of wanted it to be like a chill, like raw and uncut type of video. And I wanted to do it by myself because I wanted to kind of share with you guys what's been going on with me as far as my mental health and things like that, and kind of why we haven't been posting. But this is my second time recording this video because the first time I feel like I was just all over the place and I don't want to confuse anybody with anything. So let's just get right into it. For those of you who may or may not know, I struggle with anxiety. I always have. I've been diagnosed with anxiety since I was in like 3rd grade. So when I was in 3rd grade, I was using the restroom in my house. And when I stood up from the toilet, everything kind of like just went black. Like my vision went black. I thought I was gonna pass out. I thought something was happening to me, and I was alone in the bathroom by myself. My sister was in her room, my brothers were in their room, and my mom and stepdad were all the way in the basement in their room. And I just like screamed and I was crying, and it like traumatized me. My mom came upstairs and she was like hugging me, trying to figure out what was wrong. And I think ever since then, I've like had a fear of passing out and like kind of being alone and having that feeling again. So that's where my anxiety stemmed from. As I got older, it just kept going. Like the anxiety never went away. I know my triggers. They're usually like things such as lighting. I know that may sound weird, but like if the lighting feels weird, or if there's like fluorescent lights like in stores, especially Walmart, I feel like I'm gonna pass out, or I get really nervous, get really scared, and I feel like I have to leave. So like anything that might change my vision to make me feel like I'm gonna pass out or something usually will trigger an anxiety attack for me. As I was getting older, like being alone would make me get anxiety. Open spaces, like if I had to walk home and I'd be on a street where it was just kind of like really open spaces, I guess I can't really explain it, I would get anxiety. Or sometimes it would just be random. I wouldn't even have a trigger. I could just be sitting here watching TV and I'd just get anxious out of nowhere. So like all throughout high school, I had anxiety. It got really bad when I was in like closer to graduating, maybe like my junior year or something. I can't remember, but it got to the point where I just stopped going into Walmart altogether because like the lighting and everything would give me really bad anxiety, and I started avoiding Walmart. And that's like, that's not good. If you're a person with anxiety and you're avoiding things, it's not good because you're avoiding something that you have to do in your daily life. So for me, it lasted a while. Like I would not go into Walmart. It was just that bad. And then so like that really spiraled a fear for me, or created a fear in me, when I knew I had to go to college, because I'm like, I'm gonna be up there by myself. I don't know anybody. Like, how am I gonna deal with my anxiety? But anyways, I did it like my freshman year of college. I was fine at first, but my anxiety started to change as far as symptoms go. Usually when I get anxiety, my heart might palpitate. I'll get sweaty, like my hands may get sweaty. I get really antsy. You might see me like shaking my leg or like biting my nails, just wanting to leave the area that I'm in. But when I was a freshman, I noticed like I started getting anxiety when I'm falling asleep. So like I would fall asleep and I would wake up gasping for air or feeling like I was forgetting to breathe. And it would happen almost every night, and it would cause me to get really anxious and I couldn't sleep. So finally in my freshman year, I was put on an anxiety medication, and I took that for a while. It did seem to help a little bit. It was a really mild medication, and I took that up until maybe like the end of my sophomore year, closer to my junior year. Sorry, actually it was my junior year. I think my junior and senior year, I didn't even have to take it. Like I was like barely getting any anxiety. I was like making all these new friends. I met my best friend. We were like living it up. Like I was like really social then. I was doing a lot of things that I like to do. I was involved in a lot of organizations and things like that. I was just like really busy, and I was just living life. Like I really had no worries, and I wasn't getting anxiety, which was like really good for me. So I stopped taking it and I was fine. All the way up until I started grad school, and I'm almost done. I only have one more semester left, which is good. Like I survived, but my anxiety definitely has gotten worse, especially these last 2 weeks. So That's what I really am going to be talking about today, because I just kind of want to get it out there, and I don't want people to feel alone, because I know I felt alone as I was going through this. I felt crazy. I thought I was literally going crazy. But anyway, so as you guys know, my mom was diagnosed with cancer. When this happened, of course it made my anxiety worse. I was always worried about her. On top of the stress of being in grad school, it was like crushing me. Like, I remember in the summer, I just broke down and cried as we were presenting, because I was thinking about my mom, and the topic that we were presenting on was dying, and we were talking about hospice, and we were talking about how to counsel patients who are dying, and like people who are on palliative care and things like that. And at the time, my mom was in touch and seeing a palliative care doctor for the pain of her cancer. And just thinking about like hospice and palliative care being closely related and talked to, and dying and all this stuff, just, it was a lot for me. And I just like broke down in front of my class, and like I knew that at that moment, like, dang, I'm really dealing with a lot, and I keep it in, but at that moment I just couldn't anymore. Like, I talked to, you know, people in my major, like they knew about it. I kind of felt a little bit better, but like after that, it wasn't like I was having conversations about my mom and like how I really felt with like these people in my major. Like, I was still keeping it to myself. As this semester came, I wasn't able to go to my mom's chemo treatments, which really did hurt me, because I was going with her in the summer. You guys know from the vlogs and everything like that, I was able to go with her. So that stopped because of my externship and everything like that. And then, you know, her white blood cell count started to get low, so she couldn't work, and I made sure I would call her every day as I was driving to and from my externship. And my anxiety was like starting to get a little worse, because I noticed, like, you know, my mom wasn't feeling well. Her white blood cells would be low. At one point she had to go to the ER because like she thought she died. Like, I guess she didn't know if she was passing out or something. Like, she started seeing like really bright white or something. I don't know. The way she explains it, she really still does not know what was going on. But like when she told me that, of course I'm like really worried. And I started to develop a driving anxiety. And this is all within like the past couple weeks. Like, since the last video I posted of me crying, after that video, this is when this all started to occur. So right now it's to the point where I can't even drive by myself. I stopped driving because it just got so bad for me. And I don't know if it's like because I would call my mom every day as I'm driving to and from my externship, and I'm worried about her, and I'm talking to her, and I'm hearing how she feels, and I'm getting like nervous and things like that as I'm driving because, you know, she's sick or whatever. But it just got to the point where like I couldn't even drive by myself. I had to pull over a couple times and have somebody pick me up, because that's how bad my anxiety was. Sorry, I feel like my lips are dry. But like, that's how bad my anxiety was. And it started to get embarrassing for me, because I started to realize like this is out of my control. Like, if I can't even pull over and calm myself down and get myself back to my apartment without having somebody to pick me up, like, what is going on? And I started to lose my independence. Like, I started to realize I was scared to be alone because my anxiety was getting so bad. And one night, it just like, it went downhill. So as of like 2 weeks ago, you know, at this point I'm having people drop me off back and forth to my externship because my anxiety was still really bad. I'm falling asleep. I go to sleep. I wake up in the middle of the night, shaking, like body shaking, body tense. Don't know what's going on. Scared, thinking something's wrong with me, because I never shake. Usually when I get anxiety, I never shake like that, like entire body shaking. If I shake like that, it's because I'm nauseous, because I'm really afraid to throw up. I shake like that. Or if like I'm upset or like mad or something, I'll shake, or nervous. But I was shaking like that when I woke up, and I couldn't get rid of the shakes. And I'm starting to get anxious because I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with my body. I can't eat. Like, my stomach was hurting. I was just feeling weird. So I told my sister to get her boyfriend up here, because like he meditates and stuff. So I was trying meditation at this point to help with my anxiety, because it was like getting really bad. So we meditated or whatever, and he's calming me down. I'm starting to feel a little bit more calm, like my shakes are starting to go down. And so I'm like, all right, like I go in the living room, I sit with my boyfriend, because I had told everybody not to leave, because like I felt weird, I didn't want to be alone. I can't even explain the weird feeling, like it's so weird, but my friends end up leaving or whatever. So it's me and my boyfriend, we're sitting on the couch, and he puts on like Disney Plus, like just something in the background, trying to keep me calm. When I tell you I'm sitting on the couch and I'm just staring like this, my brain felt so numb. I couldn't focus on anything. It wasn't even like I was even hearing what was going on. I was so out of it, to the point where I scared myself to death. I called my stepdad. He lives in Ohio. It's going to take him about like probably like 2 hours to come pick me up. I told him, it was like 1:32 in the morning. I said, you have to come get me. I knew something was wrong. And I was calling my mom that night, and she was not answering the phone. And I always call her no matter what. Anything happens, call my mom. She's not answering. It's making my anxiety even more worse, because I'm like, something's gonna happen to me. My mom's not answering the phone. That's how I think. Like, this is how my anxiety works. Like, I'm like, something's gonna happen. I'm gonna pass out. Like, my mom's not answering. How am I supposed to calm down without my mom? Like, so I'm like tripping. And finally, like, her boyfriend calls, because I was blowing his phone up too. I'm like, y'all not answering, like, what's going on? So he calls, and I'm like, I need to talk to my mom. I need to talk to her. I tell her what's going on. I'm like, Mom, I don't feel good. Like, I think I need to go to the ER. She's like, are you serious? I said, yes, something's wrong. Like, something is off. I'm thinking it's like my thyroid levels or something. Like, something in my body did not feel right. And like, when I went down to our health center, the lady did tell me it could have been my thyroid, because like I did stop taking it for a couple days, because I noticed when I was taking like my thyroid, my birth control, my anxiety medicine, like sometimes I would get like these numbing pulsations in my body, and it made me feel kind of weird. And I didn't like that feeling, so I was trying to see, like, I was just trying to test it out to see if I didn't take the thyroid medicine, if that would change. But she said it's probably your thyroid or whatever. So I went back up to my place, tried to drink something, wasn't helping. Told my boyfriend, I said, you have to take me to the ER. So we go to the ER or whatever. Y'all, that was a waste of my freaking time. I went to the ER, I'm all worked up. I'm thinking something's wrong with me. They want me to give them a urine sample, but I had peed right when I got there. So, like, I couldn't give it to them right then and there. Like, they did a chest x-ray on me. They took some blood. They did an EKG, and I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting, of course, for a while, because you know how they are in the ER or whatever. And then finally, I'm like, oh, okay, like, I can use the restroom. I'm going to give them the urine sample now. Just, like, halfway through. The doctor's not in there. He just left the cup on the table and was like, just give me the urine sample when you can. So I give them the urine sample or whatever. It's sitting on the counter because the doctor never came back in to grab it. So the doctor, like, he's like walking past my room, and then he looks in my room, and like at this point my boyfriend had left. It's just me and my stepdad. And he comes in, and he's like, do you mind if I talk to you alone? And I'm like, yeah, like, you could talk to me alone. But I thought it was weird, because I'm like, what are you trying to tell me that you can't say in front of my stepdad? So he's like, do you mind if your dad leaves? And I'm like, yeah. So like my stepdad goes out in the hall, and he's like, he looks at me like this, I found cocaine in your system. And when I tell you, like, I'm freaking out, I'm like, no, you have to believe me, doctor. Like, I don't do no drugs. Like, I don't even smoke. Like, I know this ain't right. Like, I don't do drugs, y'all. Anybody who knows me knows I don't do drugs. I'm afraid to take freaking NyQuil at night to make me fall asleep. Like, you think I'm gonna do some cocaine? Like, no, honey, sorry. So I'm telling him, I'm like, no, like, that's not mine. Like, there's no way you found cocaine in my system unless, and I started thinking, what if my doctor has been drugging me? What if he been putting cocaine in my medicine? Because I had called him to see if he can change my anxiety medicine. I'm like, he been doing this the whole time. Like, I started getting scared. And the doctor's just looking at me. He's like, it's okay. And he had an accent. He's like, it's okay. Like, I don't want you to get in trouble by your dad. But if you're addicted, then you're addicted. I'm not judging you. And I'm like, no. Like, you have to understand, like, I don't do drugs. And he could just keep saying that, like, not believing me. He's like, do you want me to tell your dad? I'm like, yeah, get my dad in here. Anybody who knows my stepdad knows that he will flip out. Like, he will flip out over, like, if you offend him any type of way, or if you mess up, or if you do something, he's gonna flip out. So, like, I'm like, yeah, get my stepdad, because you about to get in trouble, because I know you didn't find cocaine in my system. I know it. So my stepdad walked in, right? And I'm like freaking out because, like, you know, like I was shaking and stuff from having anxiety. So I'm like, what if my stepdad don't believe me? What if he think I've been up here doing drugs and stuff like that? So I walked to my stepdad. I'm like, you have to believe me. Like, I'm not on drugs, please. He said he found cocaine in my system. And the doctor looked at him like, yeah, we found cocaine in her system. Sorry, my phone about to die. Let me hurry up. But he's like, yeah, we found cocaine in her system or whatever. And my stepdad's like, what test? Let me see the test. And he's like, yeah, I mean, I could show you the test, but that's what the test is saying. I'm just telling you. I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you she has cocaine in her system. I'm like, where did you find the cocaine? Was it in my blood or whatever? Because they did a blood test. He's like, no, it was in the urine. I look over. My urine is sitting right here. He never took it. I said, my urine's right here. You never took my urine. Bro, when my stepdad saw that urine sitting right there, he flipped out. Flipped out on that doctor. I couldn't even say nothing because I was mad because I'm like, you didn't believe me. I was trying to tell you. Like, my stepdad was like, how dare you do this, blah 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 blah. He was cussing him out and I just sat there. I was like, yeah, that's what you get because you wasn't trying to believe me. And then so basically, like, my stepdad, he pulled me out the hospital. He was like, no, we're leaving, blah 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 blah. And so we left and I never figured out what was wrong with me. Still don't know if it's my thyroid. So I end up going home. And I'm out of it, like, the next couple days. When I tell you, like, my head feels, like, foggy, can't concentrate, I'm sensitive to the light. Like, if I go outside, I just wanted to close my eyes and, like, just curl up in a ball. And, like, if people was talking too much, like, I just couldn't do it. I just felt like I needed to be in silence for the next couple days. I couldn't eat nothing. I had no appetite. I didn't eat for, like, over a week. Like, I just couldn't eat. And then if I did eat, it would come right out, like, not, you know, not throw up, but the other way. It would just come right out. I couldn't keep nothing down. My mouth was extremely dry. I just wanted to cut my tongue out. Like, I just thought something was wrong. And the whole time, negative thoughts just keep popping up. I'm like, what if I get stuck like this? I'm never going to be like myself again. I'm never going to be happy. Like, what's going on with me? My mom's thinking she has to take me to a psych ward because she's like, girl, like, what's going on? Whole time, like, I think it was just my anxiety. Like, it was just my anxiety and the amount of stress that I was going through and maybe a little bit of depression. Like, just all getting mixed up to the point where I overworked myself to death. Like, almost to death. I put so much on my plate and I was trying to deal with it by myself to where, like, I just realized I couldn't handle it anymore. And I asked my doctor to switch my meds and he did. And, like, you know, it's been like, what, 2 weeks, and I do feel a lot better. I haven't had like a severe anxiety attack since then. I've been anxious here and there, but like, I've been starting to feel better, and I'm just wanting to share this with you guys because I'm not embarrassed. Like, before I would be embarrassed to even tell anybody about my anxiety or tell people how I feel and stuff like that, but like, since going through this, I realized everybody has been going through their own things in life. We're all living at the same time. We're all going through different things. This whole time I'm feeling alone, and somebody over here is dealing with something else, and they're dealing with the same symptoms I am, or they're dealing with different symptoms, but the fact is that they're dealing with something and they feel alone, and like, they feel down and they're depressed, and like, I think I'm alone, and like, I'm reaching out to people and like, we're sharing our stories, and I'm starting to realize like, a lot of people are going through something, like, and it's okay to talk about it, and it's okay to admit that you're not okay. And like, once you get those feelings out and you realize like, you're not alone, it makes you feel so much better. I'm telling you, like, I feel so much better just reaching out to people. I reached out to my best friend that I haven't really been talking to, and she dropped everything and just came to my side. And like, I can't tell you enough like, how thankful I am, because going through this, her and I have had our differences, and I just knew like, I didn't want to reach out to her. I was scared. You know, I didn't know if she'd want to, you know, rekindle things or talk. And she graduated. We were going in our own separate ways, but like, I knew I had to just put my pride aside and reach out to her because I needed her. And she was the only person who knows my anxiety, who knows how close I am with my mom. And when I reached out to her and she dropped everything to come, you know, come visit me and be by my side and pray for me and things like that, her and her family, like, I mean, I can't tell you how thankful I am for that. Even like, reaching out to other people that I used to go to school with and realizing that they have been going through things and stuff like that, it just makes me think like, I was in this shell this whole time, afraid to reach out to new people and afraid to talk to new people, and as I have this whole time, I just feel so much better. I'm not alone, and people will really care for you. Like, reach out, please. Sorry. Talk to somebody. If you feel like you're going through something, like, hit me up. I don't care. I love talking to people. I will try and help you. I'll try and give you encouraging words. I'll try and be there for you, because I know how it feels like when you're trying to be alone. You're trying to please everybody else. Like, that's the type of person I am. I try and please everybody. Like, and I always put myself last, but it's because I feel like I get happiness from when I see other people happy. But at the end of the day, I had to learn that you have to put yourself first sometimes. And this whole time, you know, I thought the best for me was taking a couple days off of my externship or taking a couple days away from school, but I didn't want to, because I wanted to make my mom happy. Like, I wanted to make other people happy. I didn't want to let nobody down. But when I came to the realization and I actually did it and I took a couple days off, I was proud of myself, because that was the first time that I ever put myself first. And if I learned anything, and if I could tell y'all something, it's just to put yourself first. Live your life for you. Like, stop trying to please everybody else and things like that. Like, yeah, you can make other people happy, but in that process, like, think about you, because you're the one living in it. And when I was scared, I was, you know, thought I was gonna die from all this anxiety and stuff like that. Like, it's scary. Like, you're in it by yourself. Something can happen to you and everybody else is still here. So, like, I just make this video to say, don't be afraid to admit that you're not okay. Don't be afraid to reach out, and don't be afraid to, like, try new techniques to help you. I've been trying meditation. I love it. Just listening to, like, I forget what it's called. There's something on Apple Music. It's like pure meditation, or like pure tones or something like that. Just like different tones of music, really soft, or just like nature sounds, or just stuff like that. I pop my earbuds in, I listen to that, and I calm myself down, and I just think about, like, positive situations, even if they're not real. Like, I just think, oh, I'm on a beach, I'm doing this, or, like, just think of when I was happy. Like, that helps to calm me down. Another thing that has been helping is, like, I have this book that my best friend had got me a couple years ago for my birthday, and I started writing in it. Oh, sorry, I just dropped something. I started writing in it in 2018, around when she did get it for me, and then I stopped writing in it when I started going through all this stuff. When my mom was diagnosed and stuff like that, I stopped writing in this book. And since I had the mental breakdown, people have been telling me, you know, maybe try to do this, and I'm like, dang, like, I used to write all the time, like, let me try and write. Y'all, when I tell you, I've been writing for, like, just even a couple days. I love it. Like, I'm trying to make this just, like, my thing that I do when I wake up, is to write in here, because just even reading this book from the entries that I wrote in 2018, I just saw how God was working for me. You don't realize how God blesses you until you reflect on old scenarios and old situations. And when I first wrote in this book, I was writing that I was depressed and I was scared. I didn't know if I was going to get accepted to grad school. And then I was flipping a couple pages, and here it is. I wrote, I have been accepted to grad school. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That's just nothing but God. And you just never realize it. You never realize it until you read back and you're like, dang, God was there for me the whole time. He was there for me the whole time. You just gotta let go, and you gotta let God. And I've definitely learned that, and I've been praying every day and asking God to continue to lead me in his path, to provide me with strength to continue on, to continue to heal my mom, to continue to provide strength to the people around me. And I've been feeling so much better. My faith hasn't always been perfect. Of course, I've had doubts, but I'm telling y'all, like, ever since I've been going through a lot lately, like, I've just been learning so much. And I think I'm starting to realize, like, God was putting me through this for a reason, man. He really was. He's put my mom through what she's going through for a reason, to touch people. And he's using me too. And he's putting me through a lot of stuff to touch people. And as hard as it was, I'd probably do it again, just because I know, like, I'm gonna turn out to be a better person through all this. Anyways, I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to make this video too long. We're already at, like, what, 23 minutes right now. My phone's about to die. But thank y'all for listening to me. Please like, share, subscribe, and please, if you want to talk about something, or if you want to get something off your chest, or just reach out to me, please do. Please DM me, message me. We could text, we could do whatever, because I know how it feels to feel like you're alone. And I'm telling you, you're not alone. You're not. You will be okay, and God is always with you. So I love you guys. Thank you for supporting our channel. We'll be posting some more. We're about to go on Christmas break, so we're gonna be with my mom, so be on the lookout for our new videos. Love y'all. See ya.